Hello, welcome back to Just Be with your host, me, Tamia, aka T. In today's video, I will be recapping and reviewing episode 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17. I will be giving my thoughts about the episode, including any mini challenges, maxi challenges, the judges' critiques, a little bit on the fashion looks, and of course, the lip syncs. As always, I will make sure to link down in the description box below my previous episodes so you can look at those, which I've done both the premiere episode 1 and 2 and episode 3. If you would just like to be here with me, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment down below. I want to kiki with you. Are your engines ready? Let's get started. Season 17, episode 4 is entitled Be I'm a Drag Queen. So the episode begins in typical RuPaul's Drag Race format. The queens walk back into the workroom after the elimination of the previous eliminated queen. Stars. Y'all, I am so sad that Lucky is gone because I wanted to see more from her. Arietti is feeling emotional because she really got close to Lucky, and Lucky's message was Lucky Stars was here, and don't you forget it. Keep on shining, my lucky stars. And all the queens are emotional. Like, Susie was like, she had so much to show. Lexi was like, I saw so much of myself in Lucky. Arietti has no words. It's really amazing how the queens are being open and vulnerable. But Joella is in her confessional like, why y'all crying? She left. Sis, it's because they were able to build bond and sisterhood, something that you evidently weren't working on. No tea, no shade. Joella feels like the queens were feeling Lucky Stars because in that moment, instead of congratulating her, they were like, we miss Lucky. So she's like, Lucky really ate the lip sync and I shouldn't be here. She's trying to self-deprecate. But Corey compliments Joella on her shoes and says, you did the thing, like lip synced against her and you sent her home. Like that was the job. You lip sync for your life. And I think Joella is really upset because in this moment, the queens should have been talking to her, asking her how she felt, but they were really like, we kind of missed Lucky. Sam Star is on cloud nine for her win. She also sends out a message to the Shady Queens because she's like, just so y'all know, I'm a star. Okay. Arietti and Anya get congratulated for being the top 2 of the week. Jewel gets upset because she's like, that trill that you used was for me. And that was funny. Arietti says that she's surprised that she didn't win, and you know what, it is what it is. But I disagree with her because Sam's look ate. She's basically trying to be like, it's whatever, but she was really throwing shade at Sam. The queens move on to Corey, and Corey's like, thanks for the body, because the body is saving Corey, y'all. The body is saving Corey, okay? Her body is great. Corey states that the pressure's on. The first queen went home, so now it's time for the race to begin, which I disagree with because the race should have began the moment y'all stepped into the workroom. The winner of RuPaul's Drag Race wins a 1-year supply of Anastasia Beverly Hills and a cash prize of $200,000. Courtesy of Today Ticks, not including any tips earned during mini or maxi challenges. Special guest judge, Julia Slepford. Racers, start your engines and may the best drag queen win. The queens come back into the workroom. It's a brand new day, aka another day to serve. As Harmona says, it's week 4. Good morning. And Anya is just ready to serve another day. She's ready to play the game and win Drag Race. So the queens group around each other at a table and they start to like impersonate each other. Cute little kiki moment. Corey does, Sam Star's country accent. Jules does Harmona when she was taking her jewels off after getting called out for using her own materials, even though the challenge specified that they couldn't do that. And basically the queens have kiki with it. Sam Star does Arietti staring from previous when, Arietti was mad that she didn't win the challenge. Everybody tries to clap back. It really doesn't go anywhere. Rue comes into the workroom. Now, I stated before, I call Rue when Rue is not in drag Rue, and when Rue is in drag, I call Rue Mama Rue. So you know the difference. So Rue comes into the workroom and basically says, Drag Race has created these iconic moments from queens. Amazing iconic moments, by the way. And basically, Rue introduces the Maxi Challenge. So the Maxi Challenge is that the queens are going to be creating commercials for the greatest hits, Be I'm a Drag Queen, Volume 1 and 2. Basically, the queens will pick out of, a pink furry box. And they will pick out the iconic moment and they have to make a song and make a commercial with that song. Our pit crew man, Bruno, Bruno is always on camera, y'all. That man is always on camera. He looks good though, so no shade. He comes out with his pink furry box, and the queens have to each go up, grab out of the pink furry box their song. So Susie Q goes first, and she picks "You're Perfect, You're Beautiful, You Look Like Linda Evangelista." Aja's moment when she went on her iconic Valentina rant from season 9, and this is a part of volume 2 for the challenge. Next is Sam Star, and she picks Star Quality. This was the Candy Muse and Tamisha Iman fight from season 13, also volume 2. And she will specifically be Tamisha in this fight. So she's going to have another person that she's going to be doing the scene with, but she's Tamisha. Next is On Your Nerve, and she gets Put Your Lighters Up from Laganja Estranja, season 6. Volume 2. This is when Laganja did the comedy challenge and bomb. Next, we have Lydia B. Collins, and she picks No Class, No Manners. This is between Morgan McMichaels and Mystique Summers, season 2, volume 1. And she will be Mystique. Next is Lexi Love, and she picks This Is Your Moment! And it's Jasmine Kennedy from season 14, volume 2. Lana Jure picks No Class, No Manners. She's the part 2 to Lydia B. Collins, which is the Morgan McMichaels and Mystique Summers, season 2, volume 1, and she will be Morgan. This is Tori King, and she picks Glamazon B. After a good night of hooking with the trade, he ain't like the session, so he gutted me, but I ain't I. I was crystallized. And now I'm a Glamazon B, ready for the runway. Kennedy Davenport, season 7, volume 2. Whew, she was really trying to make that look fit the category. That was the original. Does that look fit the category? Queen. Next is Joella, and she picks Rewrite the Stories, Mariah Paris Balenciaga from season 3, volume 1. Next we have is Jewel Sparkles, and she gets Back Rolls. Alyssa Edwards from season 5, volume 1. This is when Alyssa and J. Jolie were going back and forth, but Jewels will be J. Jolie. Next we have is Harmona Lisa, and she gets the I Nominate Myself, which is Chanel from season 1, volume 1. This is like when Chanel was like the original queen to say she nominates herself to go home. Next we have this Crystal Envy, and she gets Unprofessional Latrice Royale from season 4, volume 1. This was after Snatch Game bombed. Okay, y'all, I know I'm Gen Z, but I remember this. I know all this tea. Okay, Snatch Game bombed, and Latrice was upset. Arietti picks the part 2 to Back Rolls, and this is Alyssa Edwards, J. Jolie. This is season 5, volume 1, and Arietti will actually be Alyssa Edwards. Next we have is Acacia Forgot, and she picks the part 2 to Star Quality. Candy Muse, Tamisha Iman, season 13, volume 2. She will be Candy Muse, and she will be with Sam Star. But Sam is a little nervous. So first, the queens will have to record their vocals, and then they will produce their own commercials. The judges are looking for the queens to make the tracks their own. Like, are they going to take it, spin it, and make it their own? Queens, start your engines, and may the best drag queen win. Just to specify, the queens are split into 2 groups. There's a volume 1 group, which consists of the following queens: Crystal Envy, Joella, Lana Jure, Lydia B. Collins, Harmona Lisa, Jewel Sparkles, and Arietti. Volume 2 consists of these following queens: Susie Toot, On Your Nerve, Acacia Forgot, Corey King, Lexi Love, and Sam Star. So the queens get ready for the challenge. So the volume 1 queens are listening to their tracks. Lydia and Lana get this country tune, and Lana is surprised because she's like, that's not what I thought we'd get. Joella gets this gospel tune, and she's a little bit nervous because she really just listens to pop music, so she's not sure how she's going to convey like the gospel spirit. Crystal is taking the lead, and the queens are just rolling with it. They're like, cool. And despite it being a group challenge and the queens are going to be judged individually, I'm glad that Crystal stepped up, because you need someone to step up, not just as a leader, but also keep the queens on track. And that's what Crystal did. The queens each decide that to diversify their content, they're just going to do shake and go wigs. And Harmona Lisa's like, I don't think I've ever worn a shake and go. Jewel's is in her confessionals, like, baby, that wig on your head is a shake and go. So it's funny. It's just interesting. So the volume 2 queens get ready, and Sam Star and Acacia are working together. They decide they're going to do this tango between Tamisha Iman and Candy Muse. And Susie's a little confused and worried. Anya Nerve is excited because she has this jazz tune. She does clock Laganja for that wrecked comedy. But Anya Nerve is excited. She's confident. She's like, this is my moment to stand out. I'm about to get it. And that's what it's about. Next is Corey. And Corey is like super duper excited. And I like her idea because this was like it was a chicken look, so she could do like a little chick look. And I'm hoping, she does well, her little cheap redemption. Next, Sam clocks Lydia. She's like, I wonder if Lydia is actually going to pad and give a silhouette. I agree because Lydia, stop relying on that body. No tea, her body looks good, okay? But I need to see shape and silhouette. You can't just be a stick figure with a ton of things on you. You need to show silhouette and body. It's time. It's time to start taking the couch and making hips as babes. It's time. It's versatility. Spam says that the claws are coming out and the queens are ready. Susie clocks that, volume one queens are going to have to work harder because, they got to lip sync. And Crystal says that some queens either have star quality and don't, and that she knows she's a star. So the queens move to shoot the commercials. I'm not going to talk about the moments that they shoot the commercials because it's just really just showing them going through the process. I'm not going to talk about that because I want to see the actual commercial. But let's move on to the queens getting ready for the runway. So the queens discuss how their filming went for the commercials, and it's elimination day, but Lydia clocks that everybody is really confident today. This is weird. Nobody is panicking. Everybody is like, I did well. I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. So Crystal stepped up as a leader and she says she's super confident in her commercial. And again, everyone is confident, but Jules clocks it. She's like, some of y'all might be lying, okay? And I agree. Joella says that she feels like she did well, but she's annoyed because everybody keeps asking her how well she did. And Joelle's and Ariadne are being shady. They're like, why is everybody saying they're doing good? Like, what's going on today? But Lexi moves on and she asks, did any of the queens get into drag on Halloween? So if you guys don't know, some queens, they started drag on Halloween. Like, that was the night that they could do it. They were open. And Susie says she did. So Susie is the Halloween queen of the season. Personally, I have not tried drag yet. I would love to. Lexi continues and wonders if any of the queens did drag because they could or out of a necessity. And Jewel says that she did it because she wanted to be more expressive with her gender identity, which I commend her for. And honestly, Jewel's is a Gen Z like me, and I feel like the Gen Zs have really just taken it over from our previous LGBTQ members, our older members who really fought hard for those rights, and we've taken over and we're like, hey, we're thankful. We are out here being ourselves. And that's really what it's about. It's about stepping up and making sure the next generation is prepared and they're getting things that you didn't have and things that you have now. Lexi then moves on and talks about how, she did not have the best of childhoods. Like, she wasn't allowed to touch or play with dolls as a kid. She tells this really heart-wrenching story, and I'm trying not to cry because it was very, very emotional that, when her family discovered that she had a relationship with a young man, they kicked her out. Like her mother threw a phone book at her and said, go. And I just can't imagine that. And like, I have such a supportive family system that sometimes it's hard to realize that there are people out there that will literally kick their family to the curb because they don't like them as who they are. And it's wild. But she basically became a runaway and she had to live with other drag queens in a very horrible place to live in. She didn't have, access to lights, electricity, clean water, running toilet systems. But something that she says was that she says it was all worth it because she felt comfortable. And the fact that despite her not living in a safe and comfortable environment, she felt comfortable in being who she is. And it really just puts into perspective the type of people that you have to be around and have in your life. Lexi explains, when I'm talking to you all, because Lexi is the oldest queen, and she explains to the queens, like, when I'm yelling at you or I'm like talking to you, I'm not doing it out of this mean older queen way. I'm doing it because I know what it's like. Like my generation of queens had to fight to survive, live, and to honestly be themselves. And it's really different now. And y'all, it's really thanks to those queens. It's thanks to those individuals that went through everything that they did, those we've heard of and those we haven't heard of. There are still queens who are still fighting for the rights of everyone. They're not just fighting for LGBTQ rights. They're fighting for women's rights. They're fighting for minorities' rights. It's amazing that they had this conversation. I like when Drag Race does this, when they have these open and honest conversations, because they really do relate, especially now. So On Your Nerve is talking about she's doing an African look for her runway, and Joella starts to discuss with her and wonders, how did you connect your culture and your identity and how'd you get into it? And Anya says that it was really from college. She started to educate herself on her ethnic, racial, and cultural background, which is so true. Joella and On Your Nerve want their cultures to be important and they want them integrated into their drag. And Joella throws some shade in Mandarin, period. And I kind of wish she spoke some more Mandarin. Like, speak it and throw some shade at the queens. I love when queens speak other languages in English because it just shows how cultural they are and how much it is a part of their lives. We get to our final touches and let's get to the runway. Cue Mama Ru for this runway. Now, the mug eats, but Mama, that look was giving H&M. I'm sorry. I did not like that look on Mama Ru. Like, it was basic. It's okay. Mama doesn't always have perfect runways. Mama goes on to introduce the stage judges, and she basically asks them, what was the first record you ever bought? And Michelle Visage says she bought the Kenny Rogers The Gambler album. Carson Presley is here as a judge, and he says he brought the Xanadu soundtrack. And Julia Schaeffler, who said it was Britney Spears' Oops, I Did It Again album. Honestly, y'all, I don't even remember what was my very first album that I bought. But if I had to say, like, there's an album that my mom specifically bought for me, it would probably be Bratz the Movie album. The queens were challenged to create a commercial for Be I'm a Drag Queen, Volumes 1 and 2. Tonight on the runway, category is Quilted for Your Pleasure. Racers, start your engines and may the best drag queen win. Category is Quilted for Your Pleasure. So Lydia B. Collins comes out, Yanana's couch. It's quilted. It's a bit of a mess. Her body is tea. The body looks good, but where's the shape? That was the only thing that was missing. Like, I get a queen having a nice body. I love that. But I need shape. Like, Lana has a nice body, but she gives a shape. She cinches her waist in. She makes the shape. Lydia does not show shape, and it's just not getting that. Here's the question for you all in the comments below. Is it quilted? Yes, it's quilted. Next is Lana Duray, and she's giving very Sailor quilted. I felt like this look was very Sailor Moon inspired. That was the first thing that came to my mind when she walked out was, oh my god, it's Sailor Moon! It gave very quilted Guardian vibes. I love her shape, but I do wish she had more fun on the runway. I think if she added more of a pep into her runway, I think it would just make the presentation better. It looked great, but I wanted more presentation from her. And is it quilted? Yes. Our next queen is Joella, and mattress her Michelle's face when she walked out. I was expecting a reveal. There was no reveal. I felt like this look was very lackluster. It was very on the nose. But I feel like Joella could have did it where she had it and then revealed a Joella inspired look, quilted, but she didn't do that. And, is it quilted? Yes, it's a mattress, but not in a good way. Our next queen is Ariete Giamashi. The silhouette was a bit weird for me. It was like a jumpsuit and wraps put together, leather. It was quilted, yes, but I kind of wished it was more quilts than anything. It made me want more. Our next queen is Jewel Sparkles, or Dr. Evil Sparkles. It was very villainous. I wish, like, her top, I love when queens have those type of moving tops, but I feel like if you're gonna wear those type of moving tops, you need to have the girls for them. Like, that to me is like a type of top that draws you there. Sure, she had pasties on, but I feel like if she had something like a little bit of a shape, or she even shaped out of shape, then it would have made the look better. Her body looks good. Jules knows how to tailor herself and make her body look good. Is it quilted? Yes. Our next queen is Harmona Lisa. Colorful Dolly. The colors are very beautiful. Harmona knows how to tailor herself and she knows how to make her body look good, which is great for a thicker queen. I just wish we got to see her open her coat. So her coat was tied and I was like, oh, she don't open it. We didn't get to see that. The camera didn't get that. Thank you, cameraman. She said she was inspired by Dolly Parton. Is it quilted? Yes. Our next queen is Crystal Envy, and I said she's the polished seasoned lobster. She was polished, it was professional, and she ate that look up. It was quilted 100%. Yes, it was quilted. Queen is Susie Toot. You got any dragons? The mug looks good on her. That was the first thing I saw when Susie walked out was her mug. I really hope she expanded her mug. Just so you all know, I did look at her Instagram earlier. She does do a different mug now, but I'm glad she showed versatility by changing her mug because it looked really good on her. Like the fit was amazing. Her body looked good. Is it quilted? Yes. Our next queen is Sam Starr. Quote me act. Is that you? Sorry. No tea, no shade. When she walked out, my brain went, yeah. Sam didn't do that, but it was similar. It's beautiful and polished. I like the little embroidered. I woke up like this in the back. Is it quilted? Yes. This is Acacia Fagot, aka Meemaw. It's giving old school grandma. Honestly, it's really just that blush and that bronzer that is making her look old. Anyway, she says that she made the look using quilts from her mama. She used her grandmother's trunk and she put dollies in the back of her wig from her grandmother. And I really appreciate that detail in the hair. It was a nice detail to see. Is it quilted? Yeah. Our next queen is On Your Last Nerve, as Mama Ru called her. And I said she has that Wakanda type of money, okay? Love that On Your Nerve is representing her culture and identity on the runway. She looked confident, strong. She's proud of who she is and where she comes from. That afro was gorgeous. She was black and beautiful. Not mad. Is it quilted? Yes. Next is Lexi Love, and she had this very fashion forward look. And I like the details that in her train, it was all black, but she had like black rhinestones, and it kind of just added dimension to her fit that like just made the fit stand out even more. Her body was there and it was quilted. Yes. Next is Corey Scott King, and she had a look that was created by her drag family, aka Plain Jane and Atlas. And this is gonna sound like a read, but it's not. I wish Corey would give less hoe and more fashionable hoe. Like the dress was nice, but I wanted more of a polished traditional look. I feel like Corey has so far just given us sexy after sexy after sexy, which is great because her body has it. But give us sophisticated, give us glamorous, give us classic with that body. Show us that you're versatile. And was it quilted? Yeah, but I want it more. Now we move on to the Maxi Challenge. Real quick, in the Maxi Challenge, Michelle Visage does the voiceover, so shout out to Michelle. I have the #1 song on the Bodyguard soundtrack. We start with Be I'm a Drag Queen Volume 1 with the following songs: No Class, No Manners by Morgan McMichaels and Mystique Summers, performed by Lana Del Rey and Lydia B. Collins. I felt like they were both funny, and I loved how they turned this like country tune into them fighting for the spotlight. I'm not gonna lie, Crystal tumbling in the background had me dying as a tumbleweed. Like, again, Crystal showed leadership. Like, when the queens needed something, like they couldn't get the tumbleweeds to work, Crystal said, bet. I'ma be the tumbleweed. So really funny, was a really good way to put that song out there in that iconic moment. Next was We Write the Stories by Mariah Paris Balenciaga, and it was performed by Joella. And Joella needed way more energy. Like, she was not fully putting herself into it. Like, girl did not understand the gospel spirit and energy. There was no energy. I needed more energy. Next we have is Back Rolls by Alyssa Edwards and Jay Jolie, performed by Jewel Sparkles and Ariete. Gonna feel bad saying this, but Jewels gave more Alyssa than Ariete. Like, Ariete got outperformed. I feel like Jewels didn't really, also, she didn't really channel Jay Jolie. She was almost trying to be Jay Jolie as Alyssa being Jay Jolie. And Ariete didn't even give Alyssa. Next we have I Nominate Myself by Chanel, performed by Hormona Lisa. I thought she had some funny moments during her filming. Like I said, I didn't talk about the filming moments, but I'll bring them up now. During her filming, it didn't look like she was doing anything. I feel like she gave enough to be safe, but the ending was funny. Next we have, and last, is Unprofessional by Latrice Royale, performed by Crystal Envy. Crystal Envy was a professional, and she ate this up. Her vision was there and it worked. And y'all, I know earlier I said during her lip sync, like her premiere talent show, I wasn't feeling her. I felt like she was too polished, too much. I'm really starting to like Crystal now. I really am. She's like growing on me. Ooh. I just love that when a queen that I'm like, I don't know if I like her. And then like 2 to like 6 episodes, I'm like, it's good. I love that feeling because it's unexpected. Right now, it's not available in stores, y'all, so y'all can't buy it. Sorry. Next, we move on to Be I'm a Drag Queen, Volume 2. We start with You're Perfect, You're Beautiful, You Look Like Linda Evangelista by Aja performed by Susie too. Susie's take was really funny. It was like this rocker chick. I really enjoyed the random moments of her fit of rages. And the ending was funny where she hits the guitar and like these naked arms and legs come up. Funny. Next was Star Quality by Tamisha Iman and Kennedy Muse. This was Sam Star and Acacia, and I thought this was a real cool concept of using the tango since this was such a tense moment. Like they both were going back and forth. They weren't close during this fight, but the fact that they were close during this argument in this tune was really funny. I like that they were dancing with each other, and the end where Acacia falls and Sam is like, "Little girl," was funny. Next we have is Put Your Lighters Up by Laganja Estranja, performed by On Your Nerve. And On Your Nerve performed her behind off. I could not take my eyes off her, and she made this song hers and in her own way. And that was the challenge. Take an iconic moment and make it your own. And that's what she did. She, like, if it was check marks, she checked every single box. Okay. Next, we have This Is Your Moment by Jasmine Kennedy, performed by Lexi Love. And this is an interesting take on this. Like, she made this grand demonstration, despite that moment being anything but grand because Kennedy was upset. But I really do like how she did it. It was a twist. She put it in her own way. And the ending was funny too. Last was Glamazon B by Kennedy Davenport, performed by Corey King. I feel like Corey got lost in the sauce. Like it had so much potential, and I think if she served chickadee realness like she was supposed to, it would have been funny. Michelle says that this volume may cause vaginal dryness, so be careful out there, y'all. Mama Roo reveals that BM a Drag Queen Volumes 1 and 2 are now available on all music platforms. Let's move on to these judges' critiques. Mama Roo calls the following queens: Lydia Butthole Collins, Lana Geray, Jewel Sparkles, Mona Lisa, Spam Shar, in case you forgot, Lexi Love. You are all safe. And while these queens go and untuck in the untuck lounge, Mama Roo moves on to the judges' critique. The rest of the queens represent the tops and bottoms of the week. We start with Joella, and Joella receives mostly negative. Michelle starts off with a positive. Now, if you've watched Drag Race for a very long time, you know when Michelle starts off with a positive, it doesn't, and then the positive does have nothing to do with the runway, the performance, you know that queen's about to get a negative from her. So she starts off by saying that she loves that Joella puts her whole self into it. Julie, our guest judge, says that she wished she brought more energy into her performance, and both Michelle and Carson wanted more from her on the runway. They wish she would have brought her style of drag into the challenge and didn't just cop out with this quilted mattress. Next is Arietti, and she receives pretty mid to low critiques. Michelle says that Jewel's outperformed her, which I agree. But she also states that Arietti needs to put herself first in challenges. You also have to perform. You have to be a star as well, which I agree. Jewel wanted more quilts from her look. Her look wasn't quilted enough. Michelle wants to see more versatility from her makeup. She's tired of that white line. Didn't I say in my last, if you go down and watch my episode 2 and episode 3 recap, you would know that I said the same thing. I want her to change her makeup. I get it. You're using it to make the nose look smaller, babes. I get it. But you can't always use it. We gotta see versatility. It gets tiring seeing ears. Like, change it up. Change it up is what Michelle wants. Next, we have Crystal Envy, and she gets positive critiques. Carson thought her commercial was unprofessional, professional, and Michelle and Julie loved her look, especially the quilted details in her bodysuit. It was really nice, added a nice touch, a nice detail. Next was Susie Toot, and she also received positive critiques. Julie loved her performance. Carson appreciates her inspiration for her look, which is like 1930s inspired. You know, Carson knows because Carson's been around for a very long time. Michelle was shocked by her change in her mug. She was like, before you had like this 1920s Betty Boop inspired makeup, but you came out here and honestly looked great. And I love that you were able to show versatility. And she looks over Ariadne. I'm like, dang, Michelle. The subtle shade, okay? The subtle shade. I caught that, Michelle. On Your Nerve goes next. And On Your Nerve basically gets positive critiques. And Michelle says she loves the inspiration and look. Mama Roo chimes in. Which, you know, when they show Mama Roo chiming in, it's either good or bad. It was great here. Roo says that she loves her look and she really resembles someone. She basically says who this person is. Carson states that Anya has a way of presenting herself on the runway in a very amazing way, and it translated to her commercial. And Julie was sucked in and she loved it. Basically called Anya a seasoned professional. Yes. Lastly is Corey King, and Corey King got mid to negative reviews or critiques. Michelle and Carson were confused with the storyline. They didn't know where it was going. Michelle clocks her about the back of her breastplate being shown and wanted her to be very conscious of that because it took her out of the illusion. Mama Ru asked about who made the look, and this was a negative Mama Ru critique. Plain Jane and Atlas, and Mama said, yeah, that train was not that constructed that well. And Corey's like, I'll deal with my sisters. And it was a cute little funny thing. All the queens come back, and we find out who is the top winner of the week. So the winner of the Maxi Challenge goes to Minerve! And she wins a cash prize of $5,000, meaning that she's safe. So Mamoru calls the following queens: Crystal Envy, Susie Toot. You are safe. Mama then calls Ariadne and says that, she took a supporting role in the commercial. Then Mama Ru calls Corey King. Her eggs did not go over easy with the judges. Mama Ru then calls Ariadne, you are safe. Meaning that our lip sync for your life will be between Corey King versus Joella. It's time for these queens to lip sync for their life, impress Mama Ru, and save themselves from elimination. Good luck, and don't budge it up. So the queens are lip syncing to Buttons by the Pussycat Dolls featuring Snoop Dogg. Sorry, I just know that song because I have it on my YouTube music. So I'm just gonna go in order of each queen and what they did. Joella, in the beginning, there's a rap by Snoop. Joella turned her back and had Mama Ru's face on the back of the quilt, like dancing like Mama Ru was supposed to be lip syncing. But she wasn't lip syncing. You wanna know how I know? I'll get to it. Okay. And Acacia clocks that. Joella does this reveal, which I think she should have did on the runway, but it should have been quilted. Because the outfit was cute. It was still a bodysuit, but if it was quilted, then it would have matched the challenge. So Joella is performing, but I honestly don't think she's embodying the song. And then when Snoop's part came back again, the song, she knew the words, and Susie clapped it. So yeah, it was Corey, and honestly, Corey was ready, and she started to set the mood from the first verse of Snoop. She's eating the song, she's dancing, she's flipping, she's giving what the song is giving. And I really think she was eating up the Snoop part. She knew the Snoop part. And especially, I really like when she did the non-chorus parts, like the Nicole Schwarzenegger background vocals was really cute to see. So the lip sync was good. Again, I'm very hard when it comes to lip syncs because I want to be entertained. Was I entertained? Yes. Was I entertained? No. There's a difference, y'all. Mama Ru has made her decision and says Corey King. Shantae, you stay. Joella now has to pull the lever. And again, Michelle is on a dunk tape. If you pull the right lever, she falls in, you get to stay. If you pull the wrong lever, she doesn't fall, sashay away. Did Joella pull the right lever? Unfortunately, Michelle didn't fall. So now we're 1 out of 8 levers left, which mathematically, I don't know, what is that, like a 22% chance? So their chances are getting lower and lower. And Joella basically says, thank you so much for everything. She blows a kiss at the judges. And her last quote, well, at least I didn't die a local girl. And the queens laughed. Joella really did a great job. And again, I always say, regardless of where the queens place, if they win, if they are the pork chop of the season, they are joining a huge list of queens who are now forever Ru girls. Just having that on your resume that you were on RuPaul's Drag Race is an amazing experience. And I can't wait to see what Joella brings out of this experience and what she's going to do for the future. And I can't wait to hear about it at the reunion or the finale, because I know they do that at the finale, or they used to. Mama ruined these songs. Let's get on to the episode 5 preview. So the queens will be performing in RDR live, RuPaul's Drag Race live. And the judges, we see that some of them thought some of the queens were funny, but then somebody didn't bring it up for Ross Matthews. Ross Matthews is very easy to please, so if you didn't bring it. So we see that Crystal's upset that she didn't win this week, and All Your Nerve clocks it. All Your Nerve also clocks that a lot of these queens are just mad, and she's like, you better watch out. And maniacally laughs. And honestly, this episode was pretty good. I like the challenge of them using those iconic moments. So with that being said, if you like just being here with me, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment down below. What were your thoughts about this episode? Who do you think really served the iconic moments? And were you living for those looks and that lip sync? Comment down below, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.